Hey, I'm Antonia. This is Universally Me. Last month, I got to go to the final two performances of Vox Lumiere's Phantom of the Opera, which it was downtown at the Los Angeles Theater Center, which first off is an amazing building. But the show, it was very cool. It's like well, they play the original Phantom of the Opera in the background, and then in the front, they have actors performing a kind of steampunk rock opera. It was very cool, very different to anything that I'd seen before. I think that they're talking about taking the show on tour, so if they do, I definitely recommend going out to see it. But anyway, after these two shows, I got to do Q&As with the audience, which I love doing, and I got asked a couple really interesting questions, one of which I've kind of received variations of before, so I thought that I would make a video to answer it. Basically, they talked about the fact that Phantom of the Opera has evolved from, strictly a horror film to more of a romance or a drama in recent years. I think the 2004 version even had Gerard Butler in it. So they asked me why I thought this evolution was. And then they also asked me what I thought my Uncle Carl would have thought of this, if he were to see the Phantom movies now. So first off, to answer that, while Phantom was definitely the scariest thing to have come out when it came out, if you do go back and watch the movie now, there are definitely some elements. It is a romance movie, and it definitely is a little bit of a drama. Those elements, I think, have always been there. As for why it evolved into more of a drama now, or more of a romance, and why they really market it in that way, I think the answer is actually pretty simple. I think sex sells, and love and romance and all of that is far easier to market. Horror films for sure do make money, but I think that generally is because they tend to be a lot more low budget, and they just have a very steady, loyal audience of people that go to see them. But for Phantom, that tends to be bigger sets, bigger actors, a much bigger production, more intricate, and so it's a lot riskier to make something like that purely a horror film. So I do think that the evolution as a whole really just comes down to money. As for what Carl would think, there's this part of me that wants to say, oh, he would want the original. He'd want it to stay pure or true to how it started. But if there's one thing that we know about Carl, it's that he loved publicity, and he loved anything that was going to get people in the seats at his theaters. And knowing that, I think that, no, he wouldn't have stuck to the original. I think he'd support what's going on now. When the film first came out, he made a big publicity thing out of it. He had every truckload of lumber that went in to build the set had a sign saying that truck was going specifically to Universal for that film. And when it came out, he had ambulances parked outside theaters for people who, fainted or had heart attacks, which, we don't know today how necessary those really were, but these are all things that he did to drum up, people talking about the movie and people going to see the movie. And so as much as I would love to say that he was an originalist, I can't, If he were alive today, he'd be doing the exact same thing. So anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on the evolution of Phantom of the Opera, and also if you have any other questions about this specifically or other things you'd like me to answer, please subscribe, please share, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Antonia Carlotta, and thanks very much. Bye.